We're a bunch of performers, primarily connected through magic.
Sean cooks and eats only vegetarian food, and his magician friends crave meat. The food is awful.
Monster! I'd rather chew on a latex than this garbage.
I can now perform magic.
None of them cook, and all of them complain about my cooking.
Don't worry, I got some tricks up my sleeve.
I'm Chef Ezra. In my world, flavor comes first.
I'm Julie, the nutritionist. In my world, nutrition is everything. You gotta call it for your health.
Maybe pasta?
Pasta.
In Italian food?
It has to go. The fat is out of control.
Who cooks under these circumstances?
We're a bunch of performers, primarily connected through magic. This is my fastest balloon trick. It's a motorcycle.
I make things like appear out of nowhere, and if I want, I can kind of just make them disappear. And then reappear again.
We like to get together for dinner before we actually go and perform.
We need energy on stage.
I'm the only guy who actually likes to cook, so they ended up sticking me with the duties of preparing food.
It's always the same stuff, very bland, not fulfilling, definitely not meat.
Personally, I like to cook healthy food, vegetarian food.
The food is awful.
Today we're doing a Greek salad and a lentil soup and a couscous stew with vegetarian Morocco as the base.
Do we even know what this is? What is that?
Oh, man. This is like a disappearing rabbit gone terribly, horribly wrong.
We're meat eaters, and we don't get the meat that we need.
I'm a vegetarian.
You never try to accommodate.
Hey, listen, I did make some lobster for you guys.
Oh, wacka, wacka, wacka.
Hey, lobster!
I'd rather chew on a latex than this garbage.
None of them cook, and all of them complain about my cooking.
It needs flavor, it needs something. It's terrible the way it is.
Me and Baldini usually end up going out for fast food afterwards.
What I'd like to be able to find a way is to get the love of cooking, the healthy food, and the stuff that even a hardcore meat eater with limited food appetite is gonna find appetizing and nutritious and filling.
Sean called us in because he's fed up leading his illusionist friends on a magical mystery food tour.
Sean cooks and eats only vegetarian food, and his magician friends crave meat.
If he can't make his vegetarian cuisine taste appealing, he's gonna make his friends disappear.
I need to show Sean how to cook rich, meaty vegetarian food without actually using meat.
Don't worry, I got some tricks up my sleeve.
Anybody got a vegetarian rabbit I can pull out of my hat?
This, to me, is a mystery. Just saying.
Don't you think veggies have feelings too, then?
Veggies do have feelings.
But you don't mind destroying
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Ezra. Nice to meet you again. Guys, these are my friends, Julie and Ezra. Julie's a nutritionist, and Ezra's a chef. You guys have been complaining long enough. I thought it was time to do something.
When Julie and Ezra arrived, I kind of was like,
So you're gonna tell them that we like meat, so we should be cooking meat, right?
Oh, really? Really? Because it looks like you
old.
need some more saturated fat, Dave. Yeah?
Saturday.
I kind of took a little bit of offense to that, because I wasn't really there to be lectured.
I
So we're
love what
glad
I
you-
see. I love it. The nutrition angle, so much wonderful food here.
Unfortunately, you guys don't look like Julie. No. Is this filling you up? Is this
No.
giving you what you need?
No.
The real trick here is not just to get these guys to eat their veggies, but to love them.
I'm not like a steak and potato, meat and potato kind of guy. I'll eat pasta, but I gotta have sausage or meatballs in there, and I like my saturated fat.
Really?
I do, yeah.
I
So-
can see it's cutting off the circulation to your brain.
Sean, my grandfather lived to 103, and he ate meat almost on a daily basis. All kinds of meat.
And you might have lived to 112.
Even though Sean called us in and he wanted help with the guys, I don't think he realized that the real problem was with his cooking.
There's no meat here, and this doesn't have that much flavor.
It's bland. I find your food, it's somewhat like the balloons. It's sort of empty, and it's missing some substance.
This is like a big appetizer versus waiting for the next course to come in. That's the real part.
I really feel for you, Sean, because you're doing such good work with nutrition here, and yet if you're going out and binging on fast food...
I didn't say binging. I didn't say binging.
I'm pained to admit that veggies can be boring, and unfortunately, the average person isn't on board with just a bowl of greens.
What if we could give you vegetarian food that had meaty textures and flavors, and it was, you know, unctuous and...
On the count of three, ready? 1, 2, 3.
No!
I'm the only guy who's gonna cook, and somehow they're gonna complain.
We're at a stalemate, so we have to find some sort of middle ground. Sean is obviously not cooking meat. So what we have to do is we have to create vegetarian food that will satisfy you.
When they presented the idea of having some flavor and keeping it vegetarian, I was very skeptical.
Will you guys at least give it a shot?
How about this, guys? We'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And if it's good, we'll be honest and tell you if it's good. If it's not, we're gonna go to the steakhouse.
And
You guys-
Sean's dining with us.
And he's got to have a cheeseburger at the steakhouse. Now a little deal has been struck, and the stakes are high, and no pun intended on steak.
Please, protect me from the evil cow.
We've got two extremes. We've got the meat eaters eating fast food on one side. We've got Sean eating all these healthy veggies that are quite bland. We've got a meat in the middle.
Julie, you were pretty harsh on those guys. I don't think they deserve that.
Well, they really need a reality check. And this is, you know, edging on heart attackville if they don't stop eating that much disgusting meat every night.
From my standpoint, I have to compete with the burger joint on the corner. There's gotta be some substance to this meal.
Definitely.
Otherwise, it's just gonna be like Sean's, and they're gonna end up eating a burger anyways.
And please, please, please win this one, because I'm not gonna go and eat a disgusting burger. There's no way.
And as much as I would like to see that, I'm gonna win it for me. They can't stand eating this food any longer. And I don't think they really want to be eating fast food after Sean's meal.
How do you feel?
Well, you know, what do I say? These guys are difficult to please.
Somehow we have to provide them with enough
Yeah.
so that they're not going out and eating all that crap.
I think we should go for a bonding experience at a health food store. We really would do some serious damage with some great ingredients, which he has to do a little magic on.
If I'm gonna turn your ingredients into something meaty,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need all the help I can get. So I'm gonna go practice my magic with the other guys. What do you think?
Good idea.
I can now perform magic.
I think I have found my nutritional soulmate. I've got a much better substitute. Tiger nuts.
Tiger nuts?
Yeah.
No way.
Sean called us in because he's fed up leading his illusionist friends on a magical mystery food tour.
What if we could give you vegetarian food that had meaty textures?
I think I have found my nutritional soulmate. It was incredibly fun to tour him around the health food store and introduce some cool new tricks to add to his bag.
Tempeh.
Tempeh. This is my favorite soy protein in the world. It's got 17 grams of protein and also 8 grams of fiber. So I think this is the ultimate choice.
Ezra as a magician surprised me, actually.
I want you to really focus your energy. You're gonna create energy by rubbing your hands together.
Finally, I have been able to use my mental abilities to harness the power and the energy just the way I thought I always could.
1, 2, 3, now.
What in the world? You've been planting balloons again.
It's true. Shopping with Julie was great.
Bananas are high in resistant starch. Resistant starch has equal parts of insoluble and soluble fiber, and that makes you feel incredibly satisfied and full.
I feel honored that I was able to spend this time with these guys because they let me in on some of their tricks, and I can now perform magic.
I'm gonna try and teach you some of the little rubber band. But all you gotta do is just take and go.
There's a certain aura that you have to have as an entertainer.
Ready?
Yeah. You got it, dude.
That boy's got it.
Eggs.
Yes. 7 grams of protein an egg.
Good.
But the big reason why I want you to have more eggs is because they're a great source of B12. To keep
Interesting.
you energized.
I know there's some very low-calorie eggs that come on the market as well. The one-handed crack. Ready? So,
Okay.
Can you do me one favor? I never get to mess with Julie like this. So when I'm cooking with Julie, every time she says mushroom, can you get her to bark like a dog?
Yeah, I can do that. That'll be my job. I'll do the subtle hypnosis when she's not expecting it.
With Dave's help, I think I can make Julie look like a fool. Sean, the meal you cooked for the guys, you know, it was light. It was a little bit bland. There's good vegetarian and not so good vegetarian. And Sean, buddy, yours is not so good vegetarian. Now remember, we gotta get this right. Otherwise, yeah, cheeseburger.
I want to find a way to make something that's vegetarian, that's healthy, that suits me.
We're gonna make vegetarian meatball sliders.
It also hits my friends in their gut and leaves them with that full feeling.
The other dish I want to show you is a cottage cheese gnocchi.
We are getting so much protein in
Okay.
that cottage cheese.
And with the gnocchi, we'll make this delicious sauce with porcini mushrooms, some figs and olives.
Virtually every ingredient you said is brilliant for fiber source. How we make someone magically feel full is fiber.
All right, Sean, let's get cooking. Start with a little bit of olive oil in the pan. Next, we've got some diced onions, right?
And there's a lot of soluble fiber in onions, keeping them full.
Next, Sean, some garlic, a good amount of garlic, and we'll season it with salt and pepper.
Well, some sea salt, so we get some trace minerals.
Okay.
While the onions and garlic are cooking, let's get our eggplant ready to go. I've got to put my own signature spin on this vegetarian food so that it tastes good. And any meat eater will love it. Our mushrooms and eggplant have cooked down, but we're not done yet. We've got some tomato paste, a little spoon of that.
It looks like some of it's sticking to the bottom.
Yes.
That's okay? That's just the caramelization?
Such a good question, okay? Because what we're gonna do is now deglaze all of those little brown bits from the bottom with some alcohol. We now scrape up all of these bits, and this all melds together, right? Again, more flavor.
I was really impressed with the way that Ezra was layering the flavors.
As if this isn't enough, we've got some sun-dried tomatoes and dried porcini mushrooms. Now, we're going to put it in a food processor.
I'm not too sure what to expect next. I'm a little bit worried right now what's coming out.
Now, Sean, to finish up our meatless meatballs, we're gonna add a few more ingredients. So we've got some breadcrumbs.
We've got spelt breadcrumbs.
Next, we've got some tempeh.
Tempeh should be every vegetarian's best friend because they can serve it to their meat-eating friends and still keep them around.
Some pecorino cheese, an egg. And Sean, the last ingredient we need is some flour. All-purpose flour works fine.
We wouldn't use regular flour. I've got a much better substitute. Tiger nuts.
Tiger nuts?
Yeah.
I thought this was vegetarian food.
It really cuts cravings.
Making something taste and feel texture-wise like meat, I mean, again, I'm a magician, so you can only pull the wool over me so far.
Now, we finished these meatballs in tomato sauce. They're gonna taste as authentic as they come.
I can cut these bananas with my mind.
Julie was a little bit rough with me. You want to try a little bit of hypnosis? I wanted to get some vindication.
Let's just say one word: mushrooms. Sean cooks and eats only vegetarian food, and his magician friends crave meat.
All of them complain about my cooking.
We gotta get this right. Otherwise, cheeseburger. Sean, our meatless meatballs are simmering in our tomato sauce.
Perfect.
Now let's move on to the gnocchi. Cottage cheese gnocchi is one of my favorite items to make ever. And we've pressed it in cheesecloth.
We end up with a high protein cottage cheese.
Everybody enjoys them, and I know these guys will like them. So we'll start with some extra virgin olive oil, right?
Great.
This is gonna help smooth it out a little bit. 1 egg.
Okay.
And Sean, to finish up the gnocchi mixture, we have some flour.
Some spelt flour.
All right.
Much easier to digest.
And this will help bind everything together. We'll blend this up just to get it smooth.
I could smell something being cooked in the back there. Doesn't smell like pork ribs to me. Doesn't smell like a nice juicy steak.
What we do is we pipe the gnocchi into the pot and we cut them off with the paring knife as we go.
Wow. Being able to watch Ezra cook and prepare the food was really helpful. I got some hints.
Let
No
me show
problems.
you a delicious sauce for the gnocchi. Let's start with some olive oil in the pan again.
Okay.
These are small onions. Next, we have porcini mushrooms.
You see how dark they are.
Yes.
The darker they are, the higher in vitamin D.
Okay. That's good for us in the winter here.
For a little bit of sweetness, okay? We've got some figs. Now for the fireworks. So we've got our dried
That's
sherry
show
again.
business. Yeah.
And this is not just for effect, okay?
Yeah.
We're cooking off the alcohol.
Yes.
Right? So we're left with delicious sherry flavor, but not that acrid alcohol flavor.
right.
This is mushroom stock. This is now the basis of our sauce.
What are they going to deliver?
Now, Sean, to finish up the sauce for the gnocchi, remember the whey that we drained off of the cottage cheese?
Correct.
Let's add this back in, because there's so much flavor here.
And so much protein.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And last but not least, a little bit of Swiss chard.
A little
Okay.
bit. A lot of Swiss chard.
But do make that rabbit food disappear so these magicians don't get suspicious.
Right, exactly.
The gnocchi are done. The meatless meatballs are fantastic. Now we're gonna get on to the most delicious
Good
dessert
afternoon,
ever.
good afternoon, guys.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
What's
going on?
Good. Ezra had a special request from earlier.
Okay.
Do you mind? You're a pretty open-minded girl. Do you want to try a little bit of hypnosis before we proceed?
As long as you don't make me eat a lot of red burger, I'll be okay.
Oh, I'm not a miracle worker, just a hypnotist. Can you just stand up straight for me? Stand up straight, just relax.
Okay.
I want you to count down from 5 to 1 out loud.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And close your eyes. Just from this point forward for the rest of the afternoon and the evening, especially during dinner. If anyone mentions the word mushrooms to you, you're gonna find yourself breaking out, barking like a dog. Just like that. Count of 3, open your eyes, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, wide awake. Anyway, you guys carry on, and I'll see you guys a little bit later.
Right.
Wow, that felt good.
Bananas Foster.
Yeah?
Bananas.
Okay. To start off, Sean, you really need green bananas because you want to make sure that they hold up in the pan.
Okay.
All right? So can you check those out and make sure that these bananas have not been adulterated? I have not fiddled with them at all.
Are you cooking or doing a...
I'm doing a magic trick.
Really?
Absolutely. So know that I'm from a long line of psychics and I can cut these bananas with my mind. Here we go. They are cut. Open that banana. It has been sliced with my mind.
It seems
There you go. It has
Oh my
been
gosh.
effortlessly sliced with my mind.
amazing.
Julie, that is pretty amazing. I have a question, though.
Sure.
Can you do the same thing with mushrooms?
I think I could. Yeah, if you give me some time.
I really hope that they can bring to the forefront something that will fuel us so that we can perform.
Next up, tiger nuts. Sweet and delicious, nutty, but incredibly high in fiber. Now, Ezra convinced me that you need to use butter for Bananas Foster. We're only using 1 tablespoon of ghee. Because I've reduced the fat, I want to use that orange juice to really give us some creaminess. And now, our coconut sugar.
I really am hopeful that it will be good.
And our maca punch. Now, this increases testosterone. The guys are gonna love this.
Maca punch, coconut sugar.
To finish up, we're just going to caramelize our wonderful bananas. And now we're going to set it on fire. Sean, I want your magical touch on this. Throw in some brandy.
Ready?
Yep.
At least you lit it on fire. That was cool.
The Bananas Foster is done. We're going to serve it over some low-cal ice cream.
What do you think, Sean? Have we made magic here? We've got our meatless meatballs, our gnocchi with porcini sauce, our Bananas Foster. You think these guys are going to appreciate it?
Well, Ezra, these are a tough audience.
I cannot wait to see Sean eat a cheeseburger.
I'm a little bit worried right now what's coming out.
1, 2, 3.
These guys are going to appreciate it.
These are a tough audience.
A little deal has been struck.
We'll be honest and tell you if it's good. If it's not,
He's got to have a cheeseburger, and the stakes are high.
Even though it's vegetarian cooking, this is food that I love to make.
I really think we've delivered fantastic vegetarian nutrition packed into a tasty packet.
I cannot wait to see Sean eat a cheeseburger.
These
I would hate to
hecklers.
see that.
I believe we've made magic.
It'll be fun to say we didn't like it and have him for at least a split second. For a split second.
hear 'em.
For a split second, think that
Let's
it's
do
gonna
that.
be.
All right, let's get them fed.
All right, let's go.
Cheeseburgers. Yeah. I'd like to believe I'm gonna like it.
We have meatless meatball sliders with deep, rich flavor. I don't think you're gonna miss the meat. And we have cottage cheese gnocchi with
that looks good.
some
Look at his face.
beautiful porcini mushrooms. Right?
What's in
Right?
the sauce? What are those little chunky things there?
Those are mushrooms.
what about the ice cream? I thought it was supposed to be healthy.
Well, that's just a little fat-free ice cream to enjoy with our beautiful Bananas Foster.
Hey, Julie, I know that you're really into nutritious and healthy fruits, so I've gone through the trouble of making you a Carmen Miranda-style headwear.
I love it. Oh.
Let's dig in.
All right, let's dig in.
All right, let's do it.
I'm hoping that it's gonna taste as good as it smells, because when these guys eat it, I'm hoping they're gonna really enjoy it and not hold me to that promise I made about eating a cheeseburger.
Dig in.
All right.
Moment of truth. I don't like it at all. Bobby?
I think it's burger time for.
I'm getting full already.
You guys are pulling my leg.
The flavor was amazing.
This is good. This is really good. I'm serious.
I can honestly say I enjoyed it. I hate to admit it. It's damn good. It really is.
Magic. They like it.
Actually tastes
What do you
like
think?
a burger, man.
It looks like a meatball. It tastes like a meatball.
It tastes like meatloaf or
It's actually really,
like
really
Salisbury
good.
steak or something.
Right.
It tasted like meat. It had the texture. It filled me up. And not for a second would I have believed that that was quote unquote healthy.
We're getting an outrageous amount of protein and fiber, so you are going to feel full.
The fact that we could satisfy that never-ending hunger with low sodium, low saturated fat, and that much fiber is a great win.
You noticed I'm not talking much right now?
The gnocchi was delicious.
The gnocchi are succulent and the sauce to go with it.
I'm blown away. It's amazing.
The ice cream.
So it's bananas that are sautéed in brandy and a whole bunch of secret ingredients.
The ice cream was good.
No cheeseburger today.
Well, one of these cheeseburgers.
Ah, look at this. We've got carnivores, vegetarians, all at one table. It's not magic, it's real.
Those guys are happy, I'm happy. I have that lovely full feeling in my stomach, I'd have to say. I learned how to prepare some new food. Everything was great. All this reputation, that vegetables are, not so serious, but that meat can be. Well, here we go. 1, 2. Julie and Ezra, thank you for having me. Thank you for helping me to save my cooking from my friends, and from my heart to yours, a big thank you.
There's no more illusions here. This is to great flavor in the kitchen.
And so much nutrition.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Yeah.
We really achieved our goals today, right? We've got a meal with great flavor,
Amazing nutrition.
and we've finally got Sean cooking a meal for the guys that is more than just hot air.
Definitely.
For recipes and more, visit ownca.oprah.com/healthygourmet.